Hello, everyone. My name is Aija again, and I wanted to share my personal experience working with the different webs over the years. Oh. Yeah, working with different webs over the years. And well, the good news is that there's only 3 of them at the moment, so my story won't be very overwhelming. In mid-90s, I was hired by a very fancy company, and it was a fancy because it had internet connection. And back those days, not that many companies were connected to World Wide Web. So here you can see my first picture in my office, which I could find from my albums. Apparently, more professional one would be me sitting at my desk, but at least you can look that I have my desk on the background. So, how many of you know what Netscape is? Oh, okay. Great. So for those who don't, apparently the largest part of the audience, Netscape was a dominant web browser at that time, and I used it to get my first web surfing experience. And the first web page address I typed into address tab was mtv.com. It took me 40 minutes to upload the landing page, and many lats, which was the currency prior euro, for my employer, just to see one page. It had a really big picture on it, and therefore it was really, really slow and very, very glitchy. But that was my first experience with Web 1, which is read-only internet with really simple pages and one-way communication. I even had a very primitive page of my own, so to say, first iteration of my profile, which I created myself with some sort of a bio and the gallery of my pictures. Well, real-time two-way communication was possible as well, but you had to have a specific program installed on your computer and know a little bit of technicalities to get connected to Internet Relay Chat, or IRC. And that was the place for students from universities or young scientists from institutes where they were hanging out. So in mid-2000s, I was invited by the team of the young entrepreneurs to join them as CFO and help them to run social networks. I was working in a big production company back those days, and social networks seems nothing serious at all. Luckily, I had a highly profiled management consultant sharing with me my home, and happened to be my husband, who, with a great level of confidence, told me that, well, social networks are the future. So I joined the team, and I'm still happily working with the same people and still happily married with the same guy. To the same guy, yeah. So that's how my professional immersion into Web 2 has started. Okay. Yes, this is it. So Web 2 was about user-generated content, about sharing and interaction. It was pre-Facebook dominant times, and with our team, we were lucky to look at what hockey stick growth looked like and learn how to scale projects with millions of users. We were running first social networks in Central and Eastern Europe. And in 2010, we became successful entrepreneurs with an exit and decided to create an investment company with the idea that we will be helping similar companies like B2C from social area not only with the funding, but with technical assistance, because we knew how that was important. And so, yeah, we started to work and helped a lot of companies to scale and perform sustainably. But what had happened for these 10 years? So we majorly switched from the desktop. Now we're accessing the internet from our mobile devices majorly. The technology, for sure, became more accessible and affordable for startups. The growth of internet users started to slowing down, but on the other hand, the amount of apps and new websites available started to grow, and as a result, app stores became overcrowded, and entrepreneurs started to spend a lot of money on marketing. So basically, the challenges shifted from how to support the user growth with the technology to how to get the user growth after all. So, and over the years, we created a lot of software modules. We helped the companies to solve scalability issues connected with product development, with managing the communities. But we ended up having just one, which is product development. And we realized that entrepreneurs are searching for new ways how to tackle these user growth issues. And one of the way, apart from the marketing or search optimization, is product-led growth. And in order to, well, I mean, this is the approach when you acquire users and retain them through the product itself. So to provide you an example, Zoom is a good example, because in order for me to initiate the call with somebody, I need to send a link. And by doing so, I'm spreading the word and I'm increasing the onboarding. So this is a great example of product-led growth. And to have a product-led growth implemented in your company, you have to have proper product analytics. And this is the only software that we end up having in our portfolio. But as a technical company, we're always looking at our at new technologies. And for sure, crypto and blockchain was no exception. But first, it was more about mining. Then it was more about creating solutions that tackle problems connected with scalability, speed, etc. But they started to build up different layers. And only a few years ago, we learned about Dfinity Foundation and their Internet Computer Protocol, which is the first web-speed, internet-scale public blockchain. So then we realized, okay, then this is the moment. The technology is there. We definitely believe that this technology can boost the development and adoption of Web3. So what is Web3? Yeah, Web3 is about ownership, about independence and transparency. Web3 will catalyze new business models. And what is more exciting for us, being a kind of B2C side of entrepreneurs, is that it will enhance user experiences for sure. And here on the picture, you see how I did that, standing at my penthouse in Paris, and I did that by purchasing NFT, and I created my avatar using Ready Player Me, which is one of our portfolio companies, by the way. So we see that the technology is there. We believe that adoption is ahead of us. We are working closely with Internet Computer, and we see that more and more dApps, which is decentralized application, are being available on Dfinity. And there are not that many at the moment, but the most important thing that there are decentralized analogs of YouTube, of Twitter, of Spotify, and so forth. And this time, we decided that, okay, we will not be developing the apps, we will be developing a set of tools that will facilitate developing of those apps. And therefore, we started with the UserGeek, which is first decentralized product analytics. We wanted to provide insightful information about the users for decentralized apps without compromising the user's privacy. What that means is that, can you imagine you're creating decentralized application and each developer would want to see how they are progressing with their users. But the only tool available to track it is Google Analytics. And for sure, this is very strange and provides Google a lot of information. They might end up knowing about your users more than you know about them. So therefore, we started with product analytics. And since we believe in product-led growth, that was a good start for us. We also noticed that NFTs, for sure, is driving a lot of interest and boosting a lot of interest for the people and the general community. And a lot of new collections started to appear on Internet Computer, and so we created also NFT Geek, which is NFT analytics tool. So the mission was to support the investment decisions with data, since we are ourselves very data-driven. So I'm super, super excited that again I'm watching at a very young technology at its inception and during these early days, and we started to use that as entrepreneurs. Nevertheless, it sometimes is very slow and glitchy, as that mtv.com site many years ago. Thank you very much.